Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris Stollings. You know me here on YouTube as MarauderEX, and as always I am your host for Operation Recap, where I take some of the stories from Rainfall.com and I throw them here at your face on YouTube because I do the YouTube thing. Why do we continue to discuss this? This is what I do. Alright, so this week there are several stories that I want to talk about. A couple of little ones that I'm just going to breeze right through. So there is a new Ace Attorney game set in the Meiji era of Japan, with one of the ancient ancestors of Phoenix Wright himself. So, really kind of excited about that. I was never really a big fan of the Ace Attorney games, but I loved that it was different. It was something new, and it was interesting. And the fact that they're continuing this, I got the feeling that the last Ace Attorney game was going to be kind of the last one, kind of like the Professor Layton games. It's like, okay, we've run its course. But it seems like there's like, no, we've run its course for this, but let's try something else. So I'm kind of excited about that. Theta Rhythm Curtain Call is coming to North America. So if you are a fan of music-based rhythm games and you're a fan of Final Fantasy, then check that out. I really did like the first game. I didn't think I would. It was kind of different. The art style was a little weird. I'm not going to lie. The art style, the eyes look kind of soulless, just saying that. And then a ton of stuff about Tales of Heart. Some of the first screenshots have been revealed. It has been announced for the PAL region. If you are a fan of the Tales series, I am. It's just an interesting series. It's like Final Fantasy, kind of, but you know, not. It doesn't feel overdone. I guess it's kind of a bad thing to say, but I'm a fan of the Tales series, and I'm glad our friends over in the PAL territories are going to get this game, because it looks great. It really does. So check out that press release and the first screenshots. But the first big story I want to talk about is GameStop. I really have no love for GameStop personally, as an ex-employee, but watching their business model change over the last 2 years has been nothing short of just either a train wreck or a miracle. They've announced that they are actually going to be closing between 120 to 130 GameStop locations, but they are going to be opening 200 to 250 new stores that are going to focus on mobile, tablets, things like that. So you're either going to have their AT&T Spring Mobile stores and their Mac, Apple tablet type stores. They're opening new stores to focus on a new market where they're going to be focusing on things like this, because they know the gaming landscape is shifting to digital, which is going to make it harder and harder for them to keep a good foothold on that market. So they are a little early to me jumping the gun on this, but they're doing it. So I guess there was enough digital distribution for the 360 and PS3 to warrant this kind of a change already in the early stages of the next gen with the Xbox One and the PS4. I assume that they're expecting the digital landscape just to increase exponentially. And I can say it probably will, given that when I worked there, we still sold PC games. And walk into any GameStop now, you may see a small shelf of little placards of buy this download code for your PC, as opposed to buying a box PC game. Some games will still be there, the Warcraft box set, the Diablo box set, that sort of thing. But for the most part, PC games will be digital. So if you take that model of PC gaming and how it transitioned from physical to digital, it's really not that big of a surprise that console gaming would do the same thing eventually. I don't think that it's quite at that level yet, but it's getting close, and it's getting close enough for GameStop to be worried. So Yeah, and with that, I want to know what your guys' opinion of is everything going digital. Is that the best? Are you huge fans of digital, or do you prefer physical? I mean, as a collector, I prefer physical, but I don't shun a digital release just because it's digital. If there is a physical and a digital, yes, I will more than likely go over the physical rather than the digital, just to have something tangible to hold in my hand and say, I have this. And then the next big story that I want to talk about is Suikoden 2. This is a roller coaster. So it showed up as that it was rated by the ESRB for the PlayStation 3, PlayStation Network mostly. So it said specifically PS3. And if it's rated by the ESRB, that means they've had to take the time to have the game submitted for review so that it could be released. So everyone got super excited that Suikoden 2 was going to come out in digital format, which is amazing. It is a great game that commands a ridiculously high price due to its rarity and collecting value. And then the rating from the ESRB site was removed. It's gone. So, what happened? Some people think that it was premature. Some people think that it was just accidentally resubmitted. There's a lot of theories going around on it, but it was there, and now it's gone. Which, for those of you who are Suikoden fans, or fans of Suikoden 2, or fans who have not gotten a chance to experience it, this is kind of a bummer, really. I mean, I own the game, and I'm bummed by it, because I spent an exorbitant amount of money for a PS1 game, and it's one of those, it's a PS1 game, you feel bad about spending money on it like that, but I have it, I'm glad I did, but I would much rather people be able to spend $5, $10, $15 to get, a digital copy, in order to experience a game that otherwise will just be lost to history. I really hate the fact that games like Panzer Dragoon Saga cost so much money, because that means only a few people are going to get to experience that wonderful game. And I would gladly eat the cost of what I spend on it. Granted, I bought that one back when it, was released, so it was a standard release, but I would still feel no problem spending a ridiculous amount of money on that just so someone else might be able to get it as a digital version for a handful of dollars, simply so that games like this are not lost. And, Panzer Dragoon Saga is lost to history. The source code supposedly is gone. So that's a thing. And I would hate for something like that to happen to Suikoden 2. Oh, we lost the source code, it will never be re-released. So those of you who have it on PS1, that's it. So hopefully it will make its way to the PlayStation Network in time, and other people will get to enjoy it as well as the people who already have. And that has been this week's recap. So let me know what you think about digital versus physical, and what you think about games removing from the digital marketplace like that. They're just up and gone. Until then, I will see you guys next week for another recap. Later, everyone.